Welcome back guys, thanks a bunch for checking out this video right here on Most Amazing Top 10. My name's Danny Berg and today I want to talk to you guys about the thing that's just appeared right behind me. Yeah, the Golden Gate Bridge. What is it? A bridge. Where is it? San Francisco, California, USA. And I can hear you guys already asking, is it famous, this Golden Gate Bridge? Why yes it is. It's very famous indeed guys. Some would say it's the most famous bridge in the world. There's some bonus facts for you about it, but now let's get into this with our top 10 things you need to know about the Golden Gate Bridge. At number 10, the Golden Gate Bridge took 4 years to build. Construction started on January the 5th, 1933 and was officially opened on May 28th, 1937. It stretches over a kilometer across the Golden Gate Strait, a body of water that was named by a surveyor who said it reminded him of a harbour in Istanbul called the Golden Horn. Now there are a lot of bridges longer than this one these days. For example, the Danyang-Kushan Bridge in China was completed in 2010 and it's about 60 times the length of the Golden Gate Bridge. Mental. So it's not big by today's standards, but at number 9, before the Golden Gate Bridge was completed almost 80 years ago, people actually said it would be impossible to build. Now the people of San Francisco had always talked of a bridge that would link San Francisco to Marin County, but the dimensions of it seemed just too big to overcome. The gap between those 2 points is over 2 kilometers with waters that are over 100 meters deep. They said powerful winds and dense fog would make it difficult to build and maintain a bridge, and it would be just 12 miles from an earthquake spot that tore down bridges back in 1906. And to top all of that off, it would also have to be tall enough to let ships pass underneath it. Basically, many people thought it was just wishful thinking, but in the 1920s, technological advancements in bridge building and financial support for the project got people thinking, well, wait, okay, maybe, just maybe this might be possible. Spoiler alert guys, as you can tell from this video where I'm talking about the bridge itself, it was possible. They did it. At number 8 now, the Golden Gate Bridge has a very distinctive reddish orange colour and its official name is International Orange. It's the colour used by people when they want an object to stand out from its surroundings. NASA use it for their spacesuits, the NFL use it for their footballs, and the Tokyo Tower in Japan is the same colour to stand out to nearby aircraft. Even my shirt is kind of similar to that colour, like international orange colour. Basically, if visibility is low, international orange makes things stand out, so it makes sense that in the foggy San Francisco Bay Area, where ships pass through every day, they would paint the Golden Gate Bridge in this colour so that it would always be seen. A much better choice than Oompa Loompa Orange. Coming in at number 7 now, and let's talk about the Halfway to Hell Club. Now I know it might sound like a motorcycle gang, but it's not. The Halfway to Hell Club is the unofficial title for the men who fell from the bridge as they worked on its construction. They got saved by a safety net that cost $130,000 at the time. It was essentially the same sort of thing they use at circuses in case the performers fall, except this one was the size of the entire bridge. The Halfway to Hell Club consisted of 19 men who owed their lives to this net. If it wasn't there, they would have fallen the 200 feet into the icy waters below. Remember guys, safety first, always. On to number 6 now. The Golden Gate Bridge is visited by tourists all over the world at all times of the year. According to the Golden Gate Bridge District, it attracts around 10 million visitors every single year. Now the crowds mainly visit in summer to get the best views and the best weather. I mean, I don't blame them at all. The Golden Gate Bridge Welcome Centre was renovated in 2011 to provide people with information, exhibitions and merchandise. In fact, they're so tourist friendly, they want you to experience it without ever having to actually visit it. Their website hosts a virtual bridge tour and exhibition. I haven't tried it yet, but I think I'd rather join the 10 million people who actually visit it for real. At number 5, the Golden Gate Bridge is often referred to as an American icon, and like other well-known American icons such as the Empire State Building or the Statue of Liberty, the Golden Gate Bridge has appeared in a ton of different movies over the years. In Superman the movie, we see a school bus saved from falling off the Golden Gate Bridge by Superman. We've seen James Bond battle Max Zorin on it in 1985, even the Hulk scrapped on it too back in 2003. It's even been destroyed by people, everyone from Magneto to Mega Shark in that forgotten classic Mega Shark vs Giant Octopus. If there's one thing that movie makers like doing more than putting iconic landmarks in their movies, it's destroying iconic landmarks in their movies. But at number 4, we're going to be talking about how the bridge really did almost get destroyed in real life. Now it wasn't by a supervillain or a giant shark, but it was by visitors who were just walking on it. When the bridge opened in 1937, the city let visitors walk on the bridge before opening it up to traffic. Years later, in May 1987, San Francisco held a celebration for the 50th anniversary of the bridge opening, and they wanted to do the same thing. However, they did not expect so many people to show up. Apparently 750,000 to 1 million people turned out, and poor crowd control meant that the bridge became congested with 300,000 people in the middle. Now the sheer weight of all these people started to flatten the bridge out, and it visibly sagged 10 feet in the middle. Sounds pretty terrifying? Because it pretty much is. One person who was there that day said they were glad that the crowd did not panic and stampede, otherwise it might have been one of the biggest tragedies in living memory. Alright guys, moving on to number 3 now, and in January 2014 it was estimated that more than 2 billion vehicles had crossed over the Golden Gate Bridge since it was opened in 1937. Now you have to pay a toll to use the bridge, so they can use that information to make very accurate estimations about how many people have passed over it every single year. Now we don't know who the 2 billionth driver was to go over the bridge recently, but they did take a guess at the 1 billionth. On February 22nd, 1985, they stopped a random car that was crossing the bridge on the day that the 1 billionth driver was said to pass over it. That driver was a dentist called Arthur Molinari, and he was declared the 1 billionth driver to cross the Golden Gate Bridge. He was even given a bridge construction hat and a case of champagne. I'm sure he had lots of fun with that. At number 2, the Golden Gate Bridge is actually the second most used suicide spot in the world. Now it's estimated that someone jumps to their death from the bridge once every 2 weeks. Since its completion, that total number sits at around the 1600 mark. There is even a suicide prevention initiative in place that promotes a special telephone for people who feel suicidal to call it, and in 2014, after years of petitions, the Golden Gate Bridge Board of Directors approved $76 million in funding for a 20-foot wide steel net that would extend for the entire length of the bridge, because it's thought that one of the main reasons why this is a suicide hotspot is that sadly it's just far too easy to jump that barrier into the waters below. But guys, let's try and not end on a sad note, because our number 1 is the fact that the Golden Gate Bridge is actually a wonder of the world. Now although most people watching this might think about the pyramids or Stonehenge when someone mentions wonders of the world, they're actually pretty ancient ones, and in 1994 the American Society of Civil Engineers came together to publish what they thought were the 7 wonders of the modern world. The Golden Gate Bridge made the list as one of the most remarkable civil engineering achievements of the 20th century. They praised it as the longest suspension bridge in the world from 1937 to 1964. Now that's not bad for a bridge that many people said would be flat out impossible to build. Now perhaps that is why it's the most famous bridge in the world. Not because it's the biggest or the longest bridge, but because people still see it as this impossible bridge that had stood the test of time for almost 80 years now. Well, before I get too philosophical here, I'm going to wrap up the video, and I just want to say I have never been to this bridge, but I want to go to this bridge. If you live near this bridge, then let me stay with you and show me the bridge. I don't have any bridges to show you in return, I'm afraid. I'm sorry about that. And as ever guys, in the meantime, keep those comments coming. Now you guys are fueling this channel. Basically the more suggestions and comments you give us, the more we can put out. So keep it coming, because it helps us to help you. And as ever, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily videos on this channel. Sometimes, maybe even right now as you're watching this, there might be another video going up today, maybe even 3, who knows, but if you stay subscribed, you can stay up to date with all of them. And if you want to keep watching more right this second, there's 2 of them floating over there, so give them a click. In the meantime, thanks for watching Most Amazing Top 10. I hope to see you guys in the next one. My name's Danny Burke. If you do want to follow me on Instagram, it's floating somewhere down there. And I'll see you guys soon.